level if they do make Champions League?
I think it certainly helps. I think there'll be some players that might just look at, even if Man United don't make Champions League, people still go to Manchester United because of the club and the enormity of it. So it doesn't always work like that. But there will be forwards that they're probably trying to get just to give a little bit of help to Jackson, and maybe defenders that are probably just watching it carefully and thinking it can tip it certainly your way if you get Champions League football. No, I think players now want to play, they hear the music, they want to be out there, they want to pit themselves against the best. And if Chelsea were to get there, it certainly makes it an easier conversation during negotiations.
Would you be tempted to change
When you want players on the ball, and we talk about how the modern game evolves and fullbacks getting high up the pitch, that's exactly what they did. And it was so important when they were involved in this, Roy.
Yeah, and obviously a nice switch of play here, and United were under a lot of pressure. Strange enough, James doesn't get a great ball here from Neto. He makes him stretch for it and brings him onto his left foot. Garnacho's got to do a lot better, but once he gets in that position and stands it up, brilliant header, brilliant finish, but once James gets in that position, the quality, the weight, some people might try to whip it out, but that decision making, and obviously you need people attacking it, so a really excellent goal from Chelsea's point of view.
Cucurella makes it, Jamie.
That's why we've highlighted him. He's involved there, and also like what Moises Caicedo does there. He passes that ball out to the first side there, then he receives it again. You can see he wants it. He changes the point of the attack. Now all of a sudden he gives Manchester United a problem. They've got to readjust, and you can see the defence is now, and Cucurella's found himself in a really good position. Cole Palmer's with him. He has to pirouette here, obviously, Reece James. Now, look, you've got Cucurella's found himself with that gap just behind Lindelof. The delivery is wonderful, and so is the header. It's like Drogba, Diego Costa type. It's really good. But this piece of play, Garnacho doesn't do well enough. Really poor defender from his point of view. But then the quality, can you just lift it up into the right area? Cucurella arrives, eyes on the ball. Brilliant header.
Do you think when someone like Cucurella, someone of his stature, sneaks in between Mazraoui and Lindelof, that they don't pay as much attention to him because of his...
I think they just switched off when they saw James eventually when he had his back to goal. But when he's turned, it was as if they were on their heels. They probably thought Garnacho was going to do a little bit better. But once he gets turns and puts it in there, they are on their heels, and it's a bit of quality. And again, sometimes it doesn't have to be a great cross or a bad cross and cause you problems, but this just gives you every chance. It just stands it up nicely. It's just the right weight. And when it left his foot, we're watching here, you're looking, going, United are in trouble. Just the way that it left his foot, you're going, there's trouble here. No, we still got to finish it, and he finishes like a striker, hell of a header. And but the quality from James there, but poor from United again, just off it, not aggressive enough at the right times. And Chelsea pressed them. I thought Chelsea showed a lot of maturity in the second half, considering it was a big night for it. They were a bit, obviously nervous. They knew the other score, but they kept the composure. And there was always going to be one goal in it, because United obviously don't score many. And once they got that goal, then it was game over, really.
He's ended up being a great signing, Cucurella, because I think when he came from Brighton, the fee was expensive, like 58 million or something like that for a left back. They had Chilwell, players like that here, maybe just thinking, is he going to fit in? He struggled. I think it's a great example of patience with players, even if they do cost a lot of money, because you sometimes think they're going to come in, hit the ground running. It was the same with Caicedo. You look at Caicedo now, he looks a world-class player. When he first come and the team was struggling, devoid of any confidence, it was very difficult for him. But the left-back, Cucurella, I thought was magnificent. He's aggressive. I think the Euros obviously helped him winning that, gave him that little bit of...
growing that, didn't you?
Yeah, he's got that bit of nastiness about him.
But it's also difficult for players to come in, Jimmy, when there's lots of new players coming. They won't. Even United players going to United at the moment, they're not going into settled teams. So it does have to be that element to give a player 6, 12 months, even longer to settle into a new team, particularly when there's high expectations. And some of these Chelsea players now, who heavily criticised them, some rightly so sometimes, they're now showing their quality and look a lot more settled.
We saw the celebrations. Do you think that they have a sense that the job is done now?
Chelsea? No, I don't think so. I just think it was a relief that they're obviously...
Jamie Redknapp weighed in on Manchester United's 1-0 defeat to Chelsea with a brutally honest assessment that echoed the frustrations of fans and pundits alike. The former Liverpool and Tottenham midfielder didn't hold back, criticising United's lack of identity, structure, and confidence on the pitch. Speaking after the match, Redknapp focused on how disjointed and uninspired United looked throughout the 90 minutes. He pointed out that despite having talented individuals, the team lacked any clear game plan or chemistry. You look at this Manchester United side and you just don't know what they're trying to do. There's no style of play, no direction. It's like they're just hoping something happens out of nowhere. Redknapp also highlighted United's midfield struggles, saying they were overrun and outthought by Chelsea's pressing and movement. He expressed concerns about the lack of leadership in the team and suggested that Ruben Amorim has a monumental task ahead of him. It's hard to see what Amorim is trying to build when the players look so disconnected. You need leaders, you need urgency, and right now, United have none of that. He didn't spare Rasmus Højlund either, calling the striker's performance concerning and questioning whether the pressure of leading the line for a club like Manchester United was proving too heavy for the young forward. He's a young lad, but this is the Premier League, and at Manchester United, you're judged instantly. He's not getting into the right areas, he's not causing defenders problems. He looks lost. Redknapp concluded that United are far from competing with the league's best and warned that unless something changes soon, they could slip even further away from the top 4 race. His analysis, while blunt, reflects the growing sense of urgency around Old Trafford. With mounting pressure on both the players and the manager, Redknapp's words underline the steep road ahead for Manchester United to restore their former glory.